Thanks for joining David and I for our educational video for the month of September. Today we're going to be discussing corporate class mutual funds, what they are, what accounts they go in, and how this can be a great addition to your portfolio and really help with tax efficiency.
So for most accounts, people are familiar with registered accounts like a tax-free savings account, an RRSP, Registered Retirement Savings Plan, RESP. Some people even have locked-in retirement accounts, LIRAs, that maybe from an old pension from a previous employer. All these types of accounts are registered accounts. It just means that they offer some type of tax treatment or tax-preferred treatment associated with them. Obviously, as the name implies, for a tax-free savings account, any investment income that whatever you hold in that account, whether it's interest income, whether it's dividends, or whether it's capital gains, it doesn't matter what investment income you earn in a TFSA, it all gets taxed the exact same way. It's completely tax-free, as the name implies. For registered retirement savings plans, RESPs, the investment growth is tax deferred, which just means, again, whether you earn interest or a foreign dividend or a Canadian dividend or a capital gain, it doesn't really matter in the year that you earn it. It's all taxed at the end as you withdraw money from the plan. So we really don't usually give a lot of thought as to what investments are held inside of these accounts from a tax perspective. We just want the account to grow as much as possible, plain and simple, depending on one's risk tolerance for that account. But tax efficiency and what type of investment income is earned within a cash account or a non-registered account, something that doesn't have any tax-preferred treatment, is much more important. And non-registered accounts are things just like a bank account. Like some people will own a GIC at the bank and they get paid interest income from that. And that interest income every year is taxable. So a non-registered account or a cash account is just a regular investment account, in other words. And it's not to be confused with a registered account. And corporate class mutual funds are unique in that they offer certain advantages in non-registered accounts.
Yeah, so it's within these non-registered accounts that, as David said, the corporate class mutual funds can really be a benefit for investors with some tax efficiency.
When you invest in something like a GIC, which pays only interest income, that interest income is 100% taxable and is added to any other incomes you haven't earned that year. Thereby, you are taxed fully on your interest income at your marginal tax rate. This means that for someone who earns $1,000 of interest income on top of their regular salary of, say, $70,000, they will pay $282 in tax on that $1,000 of interest income. Someone who invests in interest-bearing investments within a corporation or who is in the highest tax bracket of $259,000 a year will lose more than half of the interest they earned to taxes. No matter whether you are in the lowest tax bracket, the highest, or somewhere in between, interest income is the least efficient form of investment income you can earn.
So within the corporate class structure, this portfolio tries to minimize those types of taxable distributions to individual investors. When that type of income is earned within the portfolio, the corporation can pool any gains or losses within the corporate structure of the corporate class mutual fund. Now, this helps to minimize or defer taxes within the fund. Now, when a distribution does need to be made from the corporate class fund, it has to be made in the form of a Canadian dividend or a capital gain, both of which are taxed much more favorably to investors.
Corporate class mutual funds are an attractive investment option for a bunch of different investor profiles. For instance, somebody who's accustomed to buying GICs might want to look at a corporate class mutual fund to try and reduce the amount of interest income that they have to declare on their tax return every year, because interest income is 100% taxable. Let's say you invest $100,000 into a GIC that pays 3.5%. Well, you're going to get $3,500 of interest income on that GIC. Whereas if you invest in a corporate class mutual fund that make 3.5%, let's just say over the next year, that 3.5% doesn't get taxed until you sell the fund. So that $3,500 would actually be a capital gain maybe at the end of the year if you decide to sell the fund, or you defer it into the future and allow it to continue compounding and growing for you until you actually sell the investment. So corporate class mutual funds we've used in tons of different client accounts. They're really great for people who have corporations who are trying to minimize corporate tax, because if you invest inside of a corporation, the investment income that you earn is taxed at the highest marginal tax rate automatically, which is not attractive. It's also really good for people who are retired, may have inherited a substantial amount of money in retirement, and now their income is getting so high that they might risk losing old age security payments. So if your income's above $91,000 in retirement, you're collecting OAS, you start to lose that pension benefit. So rather than buying more interest-bearing investments, buying a corporate class investment fund that can minimize interest distributions and pay out Canadian eligible dividends or capital gains, and also defer a lot of the growth, can actually result in some pretty sizable tax benefits.
Yeah. And one of our goals here at Perler Financial is to help you get where you want to go in the most tax efficient way possible. And the use of these corporate class mutual funds is what within non-registered accounts is one of the strategies that helps us do that. So if you have some money sitting on the sidelines and you've already topped up your TFSA, you've maxed out your RSP, or you don't need the tax deduction in that year that an RSP would offer you, then investing in a non-registered account will be a great option for you. And utilizing corporate class mutual funds in that account can help be much more tax efficient. So please, if you have any questions about corporate class funds or any money that you would like to invest in a non-registered account, give us Harry, David, or myself a call anytime.
Thanks for watching. Take care.